Video diary for July 26th. Take two. Video diary. Video diary for July 26th, 2024. Been a busy week. Haven't really either felt good enough or had the time to sit down and do this all week. Mostly the haven't felt good enough part, if I'm being honest. I'd be fine in the mornings, even though my mornings are rough, and have plans to do this in the afternoon, and I crash out and just don't have the energy or don't feel good enough to do it. I have enough probably in me to record the video. But not enough to actually do the editing and whatnot. I'm in pretty sad shape, all things considered. Mostly the lungs and difficulty breathing and the pain. So let's recap. Monday, got home. Felt so good to be home. Felt so good to get away from home for a while, but after over a week in a hotel room and not going much elsewhere, it felt really good to get home. So got home Monday. We had no food in the house, so of course we had to eat out Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday, Josie had to go back to work, and I had the house to myself. And I laid around and pretty much did nothing because I was still kind of in recovery mode from feeling really bad. And it's been rainy all week, which is good. The garden's doing really well. When I'm feeling up to it, I'll do another little video of the garden. But Josie harvested two more squashes we're gonna try to eat this weekend, and so I got a feeling we'll be swimming in tomatoes and squashes pretty soon. So it's cool. It's cool to see it pay off. Otherwise, the week's been pretty uneventful. She's been really busy at work, kind of working long hours because somebody on her team's out and she's having to pick up their load plus her load. We're still trying to figure out the whole car situation with CarMax. That's taken longer than I thought. She's having difficulties with the loan situation, car loan, because of her visa, and we're trying to work through that. I'm, committed to co-signing with her, if that helps. Throughout the week, what else? Mark came by and visited yesterday. He's got some things at my house for pickup for work. I'm hanging out with him. He's finally moved up to RV park, and when I get to feeling better, hopefully go hang out with him and watch some football or something in the fall. I guess the big thing is yesterday, so I've got a fair amount of medical stuff going on. Some this week, but most of it next week. But this week yesterday, we went to Emory in Atlanta, the heart of downtown Atlanta. They have a gorgeous cancer institute there. It's the nicest one I've seen yet. It even puts Sarah Cannon to shame, sadly, but it's nice. And saw Dr. Reed and gave me this. We had a talk and gave me this write-up. And I guess in order to summarize it, number one, his recommendations were to lay off the ibuprofen and get on the oxy. He said ibuprofen's hard on the stomach, and said it can actually mess up your iron counts and stuff like that. It doesn't help with coughness or shortness of breath. He says the oxy, it'll help with the pain and shortness of breath and the cough, and it's easy on the stomach. His words right here. He sent to order it for me, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm not really talking as well as I normally do because of the shortness of breath. I can't get the lung volume to have my normal sounding voice, so I kind of sound weak and frail. But that should get better once we do some things, which I'll go into in a minute. So he said, so I went and got it filled. He said, take an oxy on the way home and see how you tolerate it. I tolerated it poorly. There's a reason I hate taking oxy, because I took a full one and I felt like garbage. Yes, it helped with the pain, but like nausea, motion sickness, lost desire to eat. My stomach was flipped upside down. A lot of things I don't like about oxy. It reminds me why I don't take oxy much, if at all. But I tried half of one this morning and just took another half of one now, and that seems to be okay. Doesn't really kind of space me out. I'm still very functional, and doesn't mess with my senses. I don't feel weird. I don't get lightheaded and nauseous and stuff like that. It was not a very fun car ride home yesterday because of that. And stupidly, I should have started off with a half, but hey, whatever. So yeah, Mom took me to Emory yesterday. Drove down and back to Atlanta, left around noon. And yeah. Let's see, on my right lung, as I had mentioned before, I have pleural effusion, which is like liquid in the lungs. He said I'm half full. My tank is half full in the right of my lung. So if your lung is like from here to like up here, like up to my bottom of my pec muscle, is like full of fluid. And I asked him, I was like, how much do you think I got in there, volume wise? And he said about 2 liters. I was like, holy crap! I was not expecting that number. It was big. 2 liters. That's a lot of liquid, and it's no wonder I can't breathe. I mean, and nobody else could like that too. And it was interesting. He had me lean forward in the chair, and he puts his hand on your back, and then he like taps it or something like that, and then it like he's listening to see how the lung sounds, and so he does it on my left side. He goes up high, and he's like tap, 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 and it sounds like a excuse me. It sounds like you would tap on a tire or something like that. Very hollow sounding, like almost like an echo. And then he did it like on my right side, and it was like normal, and then like thud, thud, like sounded solid, like muscle. And he was like, "Oh yeah, you definitely have liquid in there." And good news is, I just got off the phone with Sarah Cannon, and they said I can get this stuff drained while I'm on a clinical trial study, and they're going to try to schedule that for me ASAP. So I'm hoping that means sometime next week, either locally or in Nashville. I don't care where it is, but I want to get it done. Let's see. Doc recommended I start working out again, which I will as soon as I can breathe. So that's good. I'll get back in the gym, see all my friends, and get some of these muscles back. He gave me some drugs to try once we kind of get there. Voltaren, which is I think it's kind of a chemo. It's pill based. Anyways, and then Doxil, which is a different one, which is another chemo, which is similar to the doxorubicin that I got. The red stuff that I hate, but it works good. And then I can stay on it longer because it's not toxic to my heart, which is good. And then he mentioned Trabectin, which is a different one. That's another chemo. That's kind of like doxorubicin or efzofitimod. I can't pronounce it. And the last thing he talked about, which was interesting, because he's the first doctor to talk to me about this, and I'm glad he did, is, he's like, we need to talk about some doom and gloom stuff. I was like, okay. And he's like, you're probably going to die from this. I was like, yeah, I figure. He's like, it doesn't have to be tough. There's ways to do it easy, he said, easier. You don't have to sit on a ventilator for forever and, wither away or whatever. He said there's ways to do it. And he said typically what happens is you're healthy and normal, and then you go downhill really quickly, like in a matter of weeks, and then it's over, which I found to be kind of comforting. You wouldn't want my death to be a long, drawn out process, anyways. That just sounds terrible for the family, and possibly for me too. It just depends what level of consciousness I had. If I was suffering through it or not. But to me that was somewhat reassuring, actually. But anyways, he gave some tips and tricks on, I guess, how to die gracefully. It's a interesting thing to think about. But anyways, it is what it is. I would highly recommend Emory to anybody, especially Dr. Reed, that I went and saw if you have sarcoma. Lastly, on sarcomas, and I can't believe I waited till the end of the stinking month to mention this. July is National Sarcoma Awareness Month. It is the month set aside for sarcoma awareness, much like October with the pink ribbons is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. All the big cancers have a different month of the year that's their awareness one. Everybody just knows about breast cancer because it's so, pumped up and advertised. But sarcoma ribbon is yellow, and July is the National Sarcoma Awareness Month. So what I would say is, if you have some spare money sitting around, I would like you to donate aggressively, as aggressive as your wallet can, to any of the number of sarcoma research and charities out there that help fund research, help fund maybe underprivileged patients that need money to help fund treatments or travel to treatments, and really try to progress progress on curative or elongating lifespans of people with this disease, especially metastatic, and like in my case, and then also helping out people that financially really need the help, because cancer care is very expensive. Trust me, if you saw how nice these buildings are that these cancer centers are in, you can obviously tell that cancer care is expensive and also profitable, because they're very much so like Taj Mahals. They're very nice. So donate. Google's your friend. Sarcoma. What do you search? Sarcoma. Chemo brain is terrible.
A few moments later.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to edit this out because I can't think of it right now. Otherwise, I've been having interesting dreams about Cameron lately. I kind of went a stretch without dreaming about him, which was worrisome, and then I started dreaming about him again, which is good and sad all at the same time. Maybe that's just kind of stress and things coming and going. School's starting up in a couple weeks. He'll be going into 7th grade. So he's getting to be a big kid. And I'm curious to see if he's going to be playing on the JV or varsity football team this year for the middle school. And try to make some games. Be a ghost on the sidelines, I guess. It'll be good to watch him play and painful at the same time. But I'm mostly looking forward to it. It'd be great to see him, even if I can't interact with him. See what type of kid he's growing up to be. On a funny note, I guess we can end this video. Well, I don't know if funny is the right word, but Mark came by today to pick up some packages for work at the house, and he barked at when he knocked at the door. Wilson was barking like crazy, and I gave Mark a key to the house so he can come do laundry when he's here. So he's opening it up and coming on in, and I thought it would be really funny to get behind Wilson and pick him up since he was barking like crazy. Kind of lift him up toward Mark as a kind of like a little joke. And I lifted him up toward Mark. And like Mark went to go pet him, and Wilson quite literally got the shit scared out of him. And he kind of snapped at Mark a little bit. So I put him down. I was like, "Whoa, bad dog." And then I was like, "What's that smell?" And I looked down at my shirt, not this shirt. I was wearing a red shirt, and it had like splatter all over it, and the floor had splatter. Wilson had shit on me. I don't know that I've ever been shit on by a dog before. And it was like diarrhea all over the floor and my shirt and everywhere. And we laughed. We laughed really hard. I fussed Wilson outside. And Mark, I got the mop out. Mark cleaned it up with the mop. And I mean, I went and changed my clothes, obviously. And then I let Wilson in. And Wilson came and sat next to me on a brand new couch that we got, by the way, just like a day or two ago. That's another thing that happened this week, is Ben helped me get the couch and Mark helped me assemble it. Thank you guys. And then when Wilson jumped down off the brand new couch, which is beige, there's a nice brown stain. So I was like, oh, I can't have anything nice. So I'm trying to get that stain out. And I had to give the dog a bath this morning, because he's apparently covered in poo on the back end. I'll never do that again. It's kind of ridiculous. But what can I say? It was pretty funny. I'm stupid. Stupid for doing it, but it's pretty funny. Try to get better about putting out some videos. If I do them earlier in the day, it's a better chance of them actually getting done. So I just need to rearrange my schedule and make sure I do things when the opportunity strikes, because my body's only really good for like 4, maybe 6 hours a day, and then I get pooped. Final note. My hair's coming back finally. I started getting fuzz up here. I had a shave. Did a piss poor job of shaving it. And here's coming back. My eyebrows are still like garbage. Those will take a while to come back, but my facial hair and my head hair is finally coming back, and that's bittersweet, I guess. I'm kind of lazy. It's kind of nice to not have to shave. But hey, I'll take it. Whatever. Got some doctor stuff to do next week. Going to Duke with Mom to do the same thing I did yesterday with Dr. Reed and Emery. Kind of set up what's the word I'm looking for? Set up a relationship with them, see what they have to offer, and that'll be an overnight trip. But I'll update that as we go along, and update over the weekend. I think that's it for now. Love you, Cam.